going on, podcast world? This is Frankie Flow, legendary action wrestling promoter. You are listening to the ECWF podcast. It is going to shoot to the stars. Jump on board. Make sure you whip them, because when it takes off, don't be behind. We are going to explode. Whip!
Get the F out.
All right, welcome to episode number 26 of the ECWF podcast. We will not get the F out. We put the F back in. I'm your host, Sean Baking, coming to you from the Honda Civic Studio in the Electric City, Scranton, Pennsylvania. And on this episode, I was joined by Frankie Flow. And he has the big event coming up June 25th in Brooklyn with the Brooklyn Brawler, Tony Atlas. It's going to be a huge event, and before the event, Brooklyn Brawler even has a seminar, so make sure you guys check that out. June 25th in Brooklyn. We also talk about him being a promoter, and we talk about boxing, his son being a wrestler, and he's tearing it up currently, all the amazing names he's worked with or have met over the course of his career, and much, much more. So, enjoy. All right, back on the podcast here with Frankie Flow from New York or New Jersey?
New York.
Okay. Are you a Giants fan?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, man, yes. We just became best friends. I talked to Shaheem Ali last night from ROH, okay. And he's an Eagles fan, so I was like, oh, man. I was ready to hang up on him.
That must have been interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Legendary Action Wrestling, your big event. I know that's why I wanted to have you on. You want to come on to promote your big event, June 25th.
Right.
So we could get into it now, and then we'll plug it again at the end.
Okay.
So, talk a little bit about Legendary Action Wrestling. How long you've been working with them?
Well, actually, it's mine. So I'm the promoter known as Legendary Action Wrestling.
Okay.
I was working under a couple other promotions, and I was working under the umbrella of another company, which will remain nameless. And I started like a division with them. It was kind of towards the Latinos, because promoters just don't get it sometimes. I mean, the Latin people love wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They love wrestling. In Mexico, it's just as huge as it is in Japan. In Puerto Rico, it's like, you've got choices, and wrestling is one of them. And I don't know why they never really fed into it here in the States.
Right.
So what I did, I started a company called LWL, which was Latino Wrestling League. And it started doing well. I was getting a good following. We was pulling about 250 people houses just with local talent. We never really used any, bigger names or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to get the guys over, because they're the ones who are there every day.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer of what I listen to Jim Ross and Jim Cornette like they were gods. Mm-hmm. And I take their advice, and I duplicate some of the things that they talk about. And I see some of the mistakes that some of the promoters are making nowadays, and I try to avoid that. And I was doing well, but when it came into finances, one promoter wanted more than what he should have received, and I'm a businessman. I saw the writing on the wall, and I pulled out. And started LAW, Legendary Action Wrestling, and we've been doing pretty damn good.
No, that's been in New York?
Yeah, all based out of New York. I wanted to do it out of New York because it's like so watered down in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many organizations, some great ones. I mean, there is, but it's like, you're in constant competition, then there's a lot of shady promoters out there that wants to do really nasty things. And, me being, born and raised in Brooklyn, I don't want to be pushed to that side, so I got to stay away from it because my response to them wouldn't be real friendly. So, I was taught two ways. Either you stand up and fight or you sit down and get beat up, and I don't sit down for nobody. So I avoid situations like that. And, I went into New York. New York's, they've got great wrestling organizations too, but, there's a lot of people out there looking for entertainment. And, and thank God I did it, and we're doing pretty damn good.
Yeah. Now, when you got in with the Latino, the Wrestling Federation, that was all like Latinos?
It was called Latino Wrestling League, and the only reason why we called it that's because we was working out of Spanish Harlem, which we're still at right now. But it wasn't all just Latin wrestlers. I mean, I had all kinds. What I did was, in a mission, I always brought in a different band. I always brought in like a Spanish band, or a rapper or something like that. I brought in I gathered together a bunch of Latin wrestlers who were really being used at other companies, or were not being used the right way, and and we were doing really good. I mean, I think our max number was 325 people, and that's just using just regular names.
Yeah.
I mean, regular independent local talent.
Yeah.
So we've been doing pretty doggone good. And I think my first event for Legendary Action Wrestling was in November. We got covered by Good Morning America, which was Despierta America, which is just Good Morning America in Spanish. Then our second event was in Yonkers. We did about 275 people. We had the mayor, assemblymen, councilmen, vice president of Board of Education. I mean, all these guys came down to support, and they calling when I'm coming back to Yonkers, which I believe I'm going to be doing sometime in July. And then I've been pretty lucky. I've been getting some shows. I've been really getting noticed.
Yeah.
So it's going well.
Yeah. So I mean, to have kind of so much success, and you said you just started it back in well, your first event was back in November. I mean, how do you get from that point to you have the Brooklyn Brawler and Tony Atlas?
You know what, man? Your guess is as good as mine. I tell you what, we did the November event, which was covered by Good Morning America. We did the Yonkers event, and I did a show with Brooklyn at St. Pat's Catholic School at Bay Parkway. I believe back in I want to say March or something like that last year, and we did pretty good. And they wanted us to come back, so I already had that date set up. I go over everything. I look at the poster design. I look at the ticket design. I look at how my videos are being shown out there. If you look it up, Legendary Action Wrestling on YouTube, it's straight professional filming. I mean, I'll let you guys judge it for yourself.
I can vouch for you. I was watching it earlier today, and it looked very good to me.
Yeah, my guys take a lot of pride, in how they put things together. So then we called the show Brooklyn Brawl, and his agent reached out to me. It only made sense.
Right.
Brooklyn Brawler, August 4th, sometime the first week of August, I believe, is when his contract's up with the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his hometown.
Yep.
I mean, he really is from Brooklyn. There was rumors that he wasn't. No, the man is really from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Yep.
I believe his family still lives out there. And, and then one thing led to another. I figured, you know what? It makes sense. And me and Steve known each other for a while now. I've known Tony Atlas for a long time now. So I said, you know what? Brooklyn deserves it. They deserve a quality show. I put it together, and it's getting a lot of attention. I mean, Jim Ross just tweeted it out the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna
Hey,
mention
Steve,
that.
good luck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good luck, and come on, Brooklyn, let's sell this son of a bitch out. So, you know, we're getting some good attention.
Yeah. Now, when you were coming up with the name, you said you named it Brooklyn Brawl. Now, did you know obviously you knew he was released by that point, right?
Nope. When we came up with, because I usually book my shows 2 months in advance.
Okay.
And if you do the research, he was just, I think, announced that he was being released maybe 4 weeks ago.
Mm.
So, and the poster was already out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so then, his agent said, look, it makes sense. You know, Brooklyn Brawl featuring the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
And his agent called me at something like 9 o'clock at night. I honestly didn't believe him. I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. You know, go play jokes with somebody else.
Yeah.
And then, his name is Bob, a great guy. And he goes, hey, Steve wants to call you. I said, okay, yeah, well, tell him President Obama will answer the phone. You know? And then next thing you know, he called me. And then, after a couple of questions, and he's got a distinct voice. I agree with him. So,
of course.
Yeah, and it's just falling into place,
Yeah, that's cool. Now, is there any pressure, added pressure on you as the promoter, because the events keep getting bigger and bigger for you?
Well, there's always pressure when you really want to care about your product. I mean, a lot of companies out there worry about quantity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more worried about quality. But then when you get hit with with something like this, I mean, Brooklyn Brawl is making his very first post appearance after his 32-year career with Legendary Action Wrestling.
Yeah, wow, that's huge.
That's incredible. I mean, people's got to understand what his position was. He was a star maker.
Mm-hmm.
It was his job to get guys over.
Yep.
He helped scouting. He helped in promoting. He helped in making stars. The man been through every era there is. How many guys can say they worked for the WWE for 32 years straight? Not too many.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very much handful.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of added pressure because I wanted to do well. I mean, I've got an opportunity to really show, I'm going to say the world because it's the first word that pops into my head, that we are something to look at. My guys, they bust their hump. From the cameraman to security to the guys in the ring. I've got some loyal, hard-working individuals who are, if anybody wants to, Legendary Action Wrestling on YouTube, judge for yourself. Look at the matches.
Mm-hmm.
I had a battle royal with about 35 guys. I mean, how many independent companies have actual real battle royals with 35 men?
Yeah.
We had a book. We had the show. When the Battle Royal came out, people was like, oh my God, you got more faces back there. How many guys are back there? I had like 50 guys on the card that day.
Wow.
I booked it like 8 matches, but, it worked out. And the crowd just loved it. They loved it.
Yeah,
I sat that one. I didn't even wrestle that night. I sat that one out because I wanted the guys to get some work in. But it was a pretty awesome show. Pretty awesome.
Now, being a promoter, is that something you see you're going to be doing long term, or is it just here and now you're focused on?
Actually, when I started, because I started my wrestling career late. I started wrestling 10 years ago. And I knew I started it late. I mean, do I have the physique and the drive to get bigger? Yeah, of course I did.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I started it late. So I didn't see me really going any further than just the indies, which I was happy with.
Yeah.
But from the minute I started, I wanted to be a promoter. I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Really?
So I'm at what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Okay, and I think I heard you say you've been wrestling for about 8 or 9 years, right?
I've been wrestling about 10 years, yeah.
Okay, and so how long or when did the promoting, being a promoter, start? Was it right when you started, or?
No. It started about, I want to say about 3 years ago.
Okay.
I was working with another company. An opportunity came for me to promote a show. And I was like, hey, let's see if I can pull this off. And I did. I pulled it off. We had about 250 people show up. I did a couple of more shows for the other company I was working with, and I really enjoyed creating something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and seeing the reaction of the people, and and the response that I got, and it was really special. I mean, it could be stressful. It could be very stressful, but I enjoy doing it, and I just said one day I got to do it for myself, and that's where I'm at today.
Now, have you taken some criticism though for kind of being one of the boys, and then now you're kind of in charge?
Not really, because some of these guys has came across some really how can I say this nicely?
Pieces of
Special type of promoters.
Okay.
And you get promoters who are fans and think they can run a show, and they put something together and it doesn't make no sense, or they concentrate on bringing in a lot of famous people, which is great and dandy. But I've been getting I think I got actually more of a loyal following with the guys in the locker room than I do with the people away from the locker room, because they trust me.
Yeah.
And I've been able to book some. What people want to see are storylines. They want to see if the wrestler's having fun and they're enjoying what they're doing. It feeds off into the fan. It feeds off into the fans.
Mm-hmm.
When the guy's in a match that he doesn't want to be there, or the guy he's wrestling isn't as good as he said it was, or the promoter just told him, "Hey guys, sorry, and no one's getting paid." That feeds off into the audience, because they're feeding off the wrestler itself.
Right.
I make sure I try to cover all that. I'm as honest as I can be. Anybody who works for me gets paid. I tell them exactly what I'm going to pay them. I give them, look, you can take this. If you don't want it, I understand. Never. They show up. They show up, and they give me 110%. And I'm very strict. You got to have good gear. You got to be in shape. I don't mean you got to be like a 6-foot blonde or anything like that, but you got to be in shape. You got to have the right attitude. I got to know who you got trained by, how long you've been training. Mm-hmm. I want to see your matches. And if everything, all the stars line up, hey, I put you in.
Yeah. So, I guess kind of like being a wrestler first and foremost, that kind of helps then.
It helps, because I can actually, like, if you're a fan or you're outside, you're an outsider looking in,
mm-hmm.
You really can't tell what you're looking at. Me being a worker myself, I look and find out if this guy can really knows what he's doing, or he's just going through the motions. I've seen plenty of matches where one guy's carrying the other one, and it makes the other guy look great, but the other guy's the one that's good looking, and he's the one getting pushed out there. That's not the guy I want. I want the guy who made him look great, because I can work off this guy.
Yeah.
I've been very, very fortunate with some of the talent that I have. I believe everybody in my locker room is well trained, and incredible workers.
Yeah. Okay. You talked a little bit about being in shape, and you yourself, you're pretty jacked. Did you get big working out wise because of wrestling, or being big helped you get into wrestling?
No, well, actually, I've been in sports since I was 5 years old. First thing I picked up was boxing gloves.
Okay.
Being Puerto Rican and everything. I did boxing for a couple of years. Then I discovered a small Chinese man called Bruce Lee. So then I started watching that, and I became a martial artist. So I ended up taking up Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun, and got my black belt in Taekwondo. So I've always been athletic. Mm-hmm. I've always been in some kind of a shape. And then I forgot, what was I watching? I think I was watching Pumping Iron, and I got into bodybuilding, but I didn't get into it really deep until I got into a car accident. I hurt my back, got rear-ended by a dump truck.
Yeah.
So it put me on in a bed for about six months.
Wow.
And part of my rehabilitation was weights, and I just got hooked. And next thing you know, I went from lifting, 10-pound pink dumbbells to lifting practically anything I can get my hands on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got really deep into it. I got deep into the nutrition and the eating and all that. And I went to see a friend of mine, the Jersey Devil, who's still my tag team partner to this day. His uncle was Ray Apollo, who played one of the doinks in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe a word he was saying, but I'm one of those guys that you got to show me. People say, "Oh, there's a ghost there." Well, tell him to come out. Unless I see him, you're full of it.
Yeah.
I've been always like that. Went to see him. I saw Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas looks at me and goes, "You got the smallest shoulders." Now, if you're a bodybuilder, you have a complex.
Mm-hmm.
When people tell you you look small or you look skinny, it really messes with your head.
Yeah.
So Tony Atlas told me, you got a great physique, great pecs, but you got the smallest shoulder I've ever seen in a man. I was like, I military pressed 315. Yeah, but they're small. And I was like, okay. And they go, dude, I'm messing with you. Those things are like back cannonballs. I was like, oh, snap. And then every promoter in the building was trying to get me. Next thing you know what happened? I got a friend of mine. Back then, he was crazy at me. He's a heel. And he called me this. He said, can I curse on this or no?
Please do.
He turned around and called me, you fucking faggot, sit down. He pissed me off so bad, Sean, that I joined the school just so I can get my hands on him.
Nice.
And he ended up becoming my trainer. He's one of my best friends.
Nice. Okay. You mentioned boxing before. Are you a big boxing fan?
Huge boxing fan. Huge boxing. I see all kinds of boxing.
Okay. What do you think about boxing where it is today compared to like MMA kind of taking over everything, and obviously wrestling's always there, but boxing's kind of, I don't want to say dying, but it's trying to make a comeback.
Well, I mean, boxing's another work, man.
Yeah, there it is.
You had the middleweights, welterweights, cruiserweights. Those weights were. I think the light heavyweights, they were dominating. I remember boxing when heavyweights were, the heavyweight champion was the man. He was, he was the greatest in the world. He was, you had Hulk Hogan was God, and Mike Tyson was, over him.
Yeah.
And once the heavyweights went away, it kind of died off, and then it turned into a work. Floyd Mayweather, God's gift. Born to be a boxer, but he had the biggest mouth in life.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard those days. What's his name?
De La Hoya?
No, you had De La Hoya, and I forgot the other guy's name. He was a Mexican fighter. His son is actually fighting right now. I forgot his name. God.
Camacho?
My God, I just got a... No. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
What weight class?
His son is fighting right now. Oh, damn, I got his head. You know what? Hold on. I got it. If I don't look, I swear to God, I'm going to go nuts.
Go ahead.
So, hold on. You know what? I'm never going to find it.
That's all right. It'll come to you. It'll come to you later. Shoot me a message, and I'll be like, "That's what he's talking about."
Right.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to look one place here. This is crazy. I can't believe I forgot this. And he's one of my favorite. Oh, there it is. Julio Cesar Chavez. Oh, my God.
There it is.
Julio Cesar Chavez, 100 fights, was killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So he really got me into boxing. But now I like where it's going because we got American heavyweights again.
Yeah.
We've got two of them. I believe we got two of them. Because when the belts was in Russia, I swear to God, I thought I was watching Ivan Drago, you know, and he was so robotic. I mean, what's his name? Klitschko?
Yeah, there's Vladimir
And,
and the other one.
oh my God, talk about boring
Mm-hmm.
fights. You know, it was horrible, but you know, here I was, boxing fan, paying a pay-per-view just so I can watch it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
So, was there ever any aspirations? You said like you did it when you were younger, but was there any aspirations like in getting older?
My mother hated it.
Really?
My mother hated it. She goes, I don't want. I came home one day with a couple of black eyes.
Oh.
And she was like, forget it, it's over. And I'm like, Ma, I had fun. You can't even breathe. And my nose was broken.
Oh man.
I was having a great time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was my first little fight. The kid, you know, caught me good. He had a couple of years on me. I think I was 8, he was like 10. You know, beat the living hell out of me, but I enjoyed every minute of it. Next thing you know, my mother pulled me out, said, forget it. You know, but then I got into football, and she was like, you're too small for football. Yeah, but no one can catch me because I was so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, she took me to watch, I forgot what I did here, the Big Boss. I discovered Bruce Lee, and next thing you know, I'm getting punched in the face, I'm getting kicked in the face.
It's always something, yeah.
Yeah, so she just gave up. She was like, forget it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, but I've been a wrestling fan, and then I can't even remember when I started. It started with my uncle. On Saturday mornings, the kids used to run, wake up early in the morning to watch cartoons. I was still sleeping because I was staying late Friday night till like 1 o'clock in the morning watching WWF with Bruno Sammartino and Superstar Billy Graham.
Yep. Yeah, that was big in New York, right?
Oh, huge. Wrestling was incredible in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing Madison Square Garden like every month.
Yeah, and it was on TV too. Even the house shows.
Yeah, it was on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such great stuff. I mean, the house shows you would never see Bruno wrestle on TV.
Right.
He would only wrestle in Madison Square Garden, but they would draw him in.
Mm-hmm.
They would draw him in. They were doing good.
That was so smart, like back in the day. Like looking back, they can never do that now, but
they can't now because the words are down so bad. And as soon as they took out the mystery of is that real? It kind of destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of destroyed it. Oh, that's so he can make more money and avoid paying guys.
Now,
avoid paying people because he called it entertainment.
Yeah. Now, when people say the fake word, does that irk you?
Oh, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
I got part of my tricep is missing because I ripped it. I was using a Polish hammer, and the guy my opponent took up his elbow, and it was just the one little spot. It's almost like what's the name of that movie, Troy? Where he got shot in the ankle at that one weak spot.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, he caught me right on the elbow to rip the tricep right off the bone.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had 5 staples in my head.
Oh.
2 concussions. My ankle was twisted in. I wrestled a Broly, and he was going for a spree. I was in a corner. I moved, and he slipped somehow. So as I'm moving, he hits the inside of my ankle, turning it the opposite way, like the way that it should have turned.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't take 2 steps. I did the ugliest small package in the history of wrestling. And he just swelled up. And it's funny enough, the next day I wrapped it up. I was on his show, an East Coast professional wrestling event. He told me, Frankie, you're the one guy they asked for. I need you there, so I can't wrestle. He goes, just do what you can. You know, he put me in with a good guy. I just hit my finisher, and you know, it's funny enough because you get hurt, but when you're in the ring, you don't feel nothing.
Yeah, the adrenaline, right?
Yeah, adrenaline's going. You know, the only thing on the drive home is when you begin to feel everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but when you break your ankle or something like that, like you kind of know it, right?
you know it once. I mean, I didn't break my ankle. Like he really twisted it a real bad twist.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was wrong because when I went to take the one step to stand back up,
Yeah.
I went forward to hit him with a clothesline, and I just dropped. I dropped. I was like, I can't do it. And then we kept on going for like another 2 minutes.
Of course.
You know, like once again, the ugliest small package in the history of the business.
Yeah.
And but I kept going. You know, those moments like that, fans can see it, and that gives them, it gets a lot of respect for you because they said, as much as he was hurt, he kept on going and finished.
Right.
You know, and that's one thing you see in wrestling. Some of these guys, they wrestle, and they get hurt, and they'll keep on going.
Yeah.
You know, the drive in a wrestler is amazing. It is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To see these guys that hurt, my son, Junior Flo, one time, he forgot he had a show the next day and went out with his friends and got home at 9 o'clock in the morning. The show was at 11 a.m.
Mm.
And I said, we got to wrestle. And he goes, what? You got to get in the car. We got in the car. And he still went. Not an ounce of sleep in him. Had drunk out of his mind. Had about 3 cups of black coffee. Got in there. Worked the show. Got back in the car and went to bed. You don't see that anywhere.
Yeah. That's commitment. That's craziness right there.
That's commitment. That's drive. That's, wanting to do. I mean, I don't suggest, I don't ever suggest anyone to do that because, you can get hurt. You can hurt yourself. Or you can hurt your opponent, but if you know what you're doing, you've been trained well, you can get past it.
Yeah. Now, how long has your son been wrestling?
About 5 years.
Okay, and
he's amazing.
Was there any ever part of you that said, like, try to turn him away, like your mom was doing to you?
No.
No?
No. I got my kids do it. As long as they don't get hurt, and it has nothing to do with they're going to break any crimes or anything like that, I can do whatever they want.
Right.
And he wants to follow footsteps. I mean, why would I say no?
Of course.
Yeah, he was traveling everywhere with me. He was carrying my bags, and he was proud that his father was a wrestler. And then now I'm proud of him because he makes me look. I mean, anybody wants to look him up, his name is the Zombie King Junior Flo.
Mm-hmm.
Watch him. I mean, he's amazing.
But wait a minute now. I thought that the Zombie King and Junior Flo were 2 different people, no?
No, same guy.
No, I'm kidding. I saw your video. And Kayfabe is not dead. Okay. And how old is he now? Did I ask you that? I'm sorry.
23.
23. Oh, wow. So he started early.
Yeah, very early.
Okay. And
so I was training when I was about 16.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So,
yeah.
I mean, you're still promoting and everything, and with him being in it, though, that keeps you kind of around, right?
Well,
even if you're not wrestling?
The fact that he's as good as he is, I want to make sure he makes it. Because he's going to make it. Hands down, he's going to make it. Anybody who's ever seen him work, whether they're veteran or not, they all say the same thing. He's got a talent. He was. Some people were born to do things. He was born to do this. Everything to him comes naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, he can fly like anybody's dream, but he knows how to wrestle.
Right.
He knows how to keep his groundwork. He knows how to entertain the crowd. He knows about selling. He knows about feeding. He knows about storytelling. He knows about facials. I mean, all this stuff comes naturally to him.
Yeah.
Right now, if I go to his house, he's probably watching ECWF.
Nice.
Studying and writing everything down.
Yeah.
And practicing on his bed. Or when we go to class, he'll have a notebook written down of everything he wants to do.
Now,
and he does it.
Yeah. Are you, like, a little bit harder on him? Like, just because you want him to succeed? Or do you have to pull it back sometimes?
No, I never really agree with fans. I mean, I understand showing support to your kid, but I'm not one of those parents that's running up and down the sideline and telling, run! Get. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I just let him go at his own pace, I mean, we've been tag team champions like 5 times already. We're undefeated tag team champions in 2 different companies where they never even beat us for the belts. that's a big thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means he's never found anybody that was capable of taking our place.
Right.
And we're right now legit the only father and son tag team in the indie scene, unless there's another team out there that I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know any either. You wrestled him before too, right?
Yeah, we got into a little disagreement for a minute there. He thought he was falling in his daddy's shadows, and he wanted to prove that he wasn't. And we ended up getting into a strap match. And I'll be honest with you, you can look it up on YouTube. I've never seen a guy so happy. He hit me with his damn strap. And he's a heel, man, and he's hitting me with a smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
So we ran that for a while, and we wrestled each other again in New York, but the fans, we had about 20, 30 fans walk up to us and say, please, guys, never want to see you guys wrestle each other again. I go, why? It's because we don't know who to boo and who to cheer for. We love to both.
Yeah.
So we never did it again.
I think there was one I was watching earlier, you two were going at it, and there was like a bunch of interference towards the end there, and like it got...
Yeah, Team Shazam.
Yeah. And I had to stop watching because I had to come down and set all this up, but I know you got on the mic afterwards, right?
Yeah. It was a good event.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so have you ever worked in different countries?
I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Florida. Well, Florida's not a country, but...
Well, to some people it could be different.
Yeah, I've been to Puerto Rico. I think I've been to Santo Domingo. But I'm mostly in the States. I never made it to Santo Domingo. I never made it there.
Okay.
I got an open door policy in Puerto Rico and go there anytime I want.
Nice.
I'm still in the States. I had an opportunity to go to what country they asked me? Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, but something happened with I don't know, with the promoter, something like that, and it didn't fall through, and he changed the date, and I was already committed here. But I have an open an invitation to Colombia.
Okay.
They want to bring me out there. I got an open door policy at Santo Domingo. But unfortunately for me, Frankie started kind of late in his career.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I can't, because I can still go just as good as anybody else. But right now, my concentration is really on building legendary action wrestling and make it as much of a household name as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always been the same people. WWE at one time was WWE, WCW, ECW. Ring of Honor was always around. New Japan was always around. Now it's WWE, New Japan, TNA, Ring of Honor, and Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been that way.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a real indie company take it to that level besides Ring of Honor, who are amazing at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's there for the taking. Just got to fight for it.
Right.
Because I'm a worker and I enjoy big crowds. I mean, even when I was not a promoter and I was just wrestling, I would do everything in my power to make sure there was people at the show, because it kind of sucks when you go to a show and the promoter didn't do his job and you got 10 people sitting in the audience, and 3 of them happen to be your own kids. So,
Yeah.
really bad. But I try to avoid that stuff.
Okay. A couple other companies I saw. D2W.
D2W Pro Wrestling is the promoter there is the Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
He's a close friend of mine. He's always with me at my shows. I'm always with him. You can look them up at www.d2wprowrestling.com. They run a show the first of every Friday. Good company, small company, very family oriented. He's not looking to be the next big thing. He's just at a nice, steady pace. Great storylines, really extremely great workers in there. They've been around for at least 5 years. I kind of helped them get off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I really got my first taste in promoting. And the Jersey Devil just, I gave him a hand in the beginning. I was just following his lead. He's always been, a very hard-driven man. He does a great job. I enjoy the company. I've been wrestling for him for about 5 years.
Okay, so you're still involved with them.
Oh yeah, still involved with him, heavily involved with him. We worked out in the gym together. I mean, I guess the only time I can walk into a locker room and go, okay, there's somebody just as big as me. Usually when I walk in a locker room, I'm the biggest guy in the locker room.
Yeah.
The Jersey Devil was a big boy too. So we was a tag team called Jersey Flow. We was dominating. I mean, but it got to a point where people didn't want to wrestle us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, they didn't
two big
want to
guys,
wrestle us. So. They're two big, bald-headed guys,
Yeah. Okay, another one you mentioned before, ECPW.
Actually, I got my start with ECPW, with Gino Caruso, East Coast Professional Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They got ECPW1.com. He was a company that he has the ability to become a household name. For whatever reasons, he enjoys where he's at, which is, God bless him. But I've been working for him for 9 years now.
Yeah.
I'm currently their heavyweight champion.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, 2-time tag team champion, one with Bandito Jr., who's actually working for the WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my son, Junior Flo. We've been 2-time tag team champions. I'm currently the heavyweight champion. They've had a great locker room, some great locker room. There's a lot of kids there now, like Sonny Kiss, Mike Orlando, Prince Akhenaten, who's happened to be one of my favorite opponents. Who else is there? Mr. All Day, Kenny Bengo, Corey Dillinger, Dan the Man, Aaron Bradley. Some really great guys, really good, young, up and coming. The one guy you want to keep your eye on is Mike Orlando. Actually, I'm going to wrestle him on Saturday. I like him, but I'm going to have to whip his ass on Saturday.
I had him on earlier too.
Oh, cool. Good kid. Good kid.
He is.
Great look. Good looking boy.
Mm-hmm.
Could be cocky at times, but hey, that's when, he calls himself the elite for something. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrestle him this Saturday, and, I'm going to have to smack him in the head a couple times.
Okay. And I saw what ECPW, you mentioned the titles, but you got a lot of awards there too, right?
Oh, I've got an award from day one. Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year. I got Feud of the Year 2 years in a row. 3 years in a row, excuse me. Most Popular. Just recently, last year, I got Wrestler of the Year.
Yep. Now, is something like that, is that a big deal to you, or is it just like, it's just something else,
No, any recognition, anything, to me, a word thank you is a big deal for me, because, when people appreciate what you do, whether it's in the ring, out the ring, or whatever you do, as a human being or as a person, to me, everything means something. I got all those awards hanging up. I mean, I've got awards all over the place, D2W, I've got 2 awards with them. I've got honorary member. I forgot what they call it. It's in Spanish. Up in Puerto Rico. I've been champions in Puerto Rico, heavyweight champion, tag team champions, international champion. I mean, and those things like that, they all mean something. They all mean that they appreciate what you've done, or the fans want you this, I mean, I want to say that in the 10 years that I've been wrestling for, 9 years I've been wrestling for East Coast Professional Wrestling, I am the first ever Latin heavyweight champion who held the tag team and the heavyweight champion at the same time.
Yeah.
They actually stripped me of the titles because I couldn't defend both of them. I held it with my son. But I captured the heavyweight championship, and 2 weeks later, my son captured the junior light heavyweight championship. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, all right. Another name I saw, I don't know if... I had this guy on too, Damian Legion.
Damian Legion's such a good man, such a kind-hearted person.
He is.
I think unfortunately for health reasons he had to stop wrestling. But he's such a great guy. Great guy, man. I love him to death.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and in the 10 years you've been doing it, has there been any looks from anywhere else, like a TNA or any, like...
I couldn't say. I mean, I've been approached by some people, but like I said, people can feed into this, or I'm not going to say it, but I started late in my career, really late. I mean, think about it. My son's 22 years old. But I've got, I've been invited to a couple of places. For a while, they had a wrestling for Super Kick. They were living at Asbury Park. They the ones who did Lucha Libre USA and Masked Warriors back in the day on MTV. But I never really, have I been looked at? I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah.
I've been called. They called the promoters a couple of times. It was something that came up, and I actually turned it down. I didn't think I wanted to take that route. So.
Okay. All right. I heard you say before too that you had some friends working in Lucha Underground, like some people you might have grew up with.
Oh yeah, we've got not grew up with, but I've met throughout the business, like a Ricky Regis, good guy. Who else is there? Mil Muertes. I know him personally. Ivelisse. I've met her several times.
Nice.
There's a couple other ones, but there's some guys I don't want to mention their name because they're on the gimmick and stuff like that.
Right. I had a Cobra Moon on Tuesday on the podcast.
Oh yeah, cool.
She's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. I was looking at some of your pictures before too on your Facebook, and I could do a whole podcast and all like the amazing people, like the big names that you've either worked with or met, like throughout your career. If you had to pick like maybe a favorite or like your top 3 or top 5 like coolest people you met or you worked with.
Number one on the list was Mil Mascaras.
Oh. Okay.
As a kid, my uncle used to take me to the movies, and I used to watch him and Blue Demon and Santos and Mil Mascaras. They used to do these incredible, corny ass movies. It was, so corny. It was like the lucha, the wrestlers versus vampires and werewolves, and somehow they would beat them with a body slam. So, but I teamed up with Mil Mascaras, and we went against Val Venus and Crazy Ivan. That was pretty cool. The other guy I love to talk to, and he's a really close friend, is Tito Santana.
Of course.
I teamed up with him. After that, Tony Atlas. Really became close friends with him. And then the rest of them, like I've met X-Pac several times. Really cool cat. Kevin Nash I met one time, and was asking me how did I get my back so big, and wanted some tips, and I gave him that. That was pretty freaking cool. And then I wrestled against Shane Douglas. He was a nice guy. Tommy Dreamer. He every time I see him, I go, "Hi, I'm Frankie." He goes, "Frankie, I know your name. Stop telling me your name." Because I remember you, dude. It's pretty cool, man. I met the Bushwhackers. I went up to, I actually wrestled in Amsterdam, New York, at the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. That was like in my 3rd year of my career. I was there wrestling in front of Bruno Sammartino. That was freaking awesome. Nick Bockwinkel. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the one introduced me to Mil Mascaras.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty cool. I met Jay Lee for that night too. We had a bar, we were all sitting there, and me and a friend of mine called Pete Nixon. We was hungry, and it was about 2:00 in the morning. We're in Amsterdam, New York. We don't know where to go. When I'm hungry, I find food. And next thing you know, I'm walking there at 3:00 in the morning with 15 pizza pies in my hand. Me and Pete was like the heroes. To this day, they remember that.
Nice.
They remember that. So yeah, I've been so blessed, and I got to give credit where credit's due. It wasn't for Gino Caruso and ECWF, I would have never met all these great guys. Robbie E, we're friends. We call each other in the blue. We joke around whenever we see each other. He's actually right now the D2W Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Savio Vega, close friend of mine. I call him whenever I want. Even though I don't, but he remembers.
Yeah.
He loves my son. Yeah. I've been pretty blessed. I met, growing up, watching them on TV, and then being in the ring with them, being a tag team partner or wrestling against them was like, awesome.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of names you threw out there. If you can, any of those names you threw out there, any funny or like crazy locker room or like road stories you could share?
I know there was the one time that a company called Model Productions booked me, and they didn't book my son, and Savio asked me, "Where's the boy?" And he's right there, and he goes, "Where's your gear?" And he goes, "The guy didn't book me." And he calls the promoter over and he goes, "Why didn't you book the kid?" He goes, "He's so small. That kid can run circles all everybody in his locker room. What are you freaking kidding me?" In Connecticut, he puts him in a big storyline against me and put us over for the tag team titles.
Nice.
So this commitment. Tony Atlas. I remember the first time I tagged up with him was me and my son and Tony Atlas. And we get in the ring. These guys are names. They don't know what we're capable of doing. And you're talking about indies. A lot of guys, they call themselves self-trained and never been trained, or been trained because they watch Xbox every freaking weekend, or watch play it every day. I can do this move off of Xbox. Okay, try with me, see what happens. Everybody got a plan to get punched in the face.
Mike Tyson right there, go ahead.
Yeah, and Tony Adams. We get in the ring, we're wrestling a couple of guys. I can't remember who they were. And he turns around and he goes, "Holy shit, these boys can work. Tag me in, brother. Let me get some of that." We get in there. Tony Adams is going. He's going. It's like Tony Adams of the '80s, and he's wrestling. He's going off, and he goes to the back and goes, "Man, you guys can work." A couple of months later, he tells Gino Caruso, "Those are your boys?" He goes, "Yeah, those boys can work. You better make those boys champions." A couple of months later, we're tag team champions, and later on we became heavyweight champions. So it's pretty cool, when you've got that kind of recognition from the names. Tito Santana will walk in and bypass the promoter. Goes, "Where's Frankie at?" "Over there." "Hey, Frankie, what are you doing?" Pretty cool stuff, man. It's pretty cool stuff.
That's cool. Okay, and you've been saying your in-ring career is kind of slowing down a little bit, and you're kind of crossing over to the other side. And you mentioned the retirement word a couple times. Is that just because the body's breaking down, or?
I'm in the best shape of my life, Sean.
So
I'm in the best shape of my life. Right now, I'm old enough. I'm at 210 pounds, 220. I think about 218 in between that. About maybe 15% body fat. I'm benching 475. I squat about 450. Military press about 315. I curl about 75-pound dumbbells. I'm in great shape. What's going on with me is just the companies I dealt with kind of took the drive out of me a little bit. Because of the shadiness and the greediness and the enviness. That kind of slowed me down a little bit. But, at the moment right now, I'm really upset with independent wrestling and with the people I deal with. But you never know. Maybe that one night will wake me up again. And, I decided I want to go at it one more time. But right now, I'm just being particular what bookings I'm taking. Make sure the opportunity's right, the money's right. And, I've been at it for 10 years, so, there are certain things I should be able to ask for.
Yeah.
That's it right now. I'm just going to slow down a little bit. But physically, I'm in the best shape of my life. Mentally, yeah, I'm a little beat up, but
right.
It happens.
Okay. And another thing I saw you talking about in one of your videos was respect, and, like, that's really important to you, and kind of like the old school mindset of shaking everybody's hand and
Right.
But like
Well,
respect is a big thing to you, right?
respect's a big thing to me right now. What went out the window was I've encountered some young guys who've been in the business, and they've been in it for like a minute. They get an opportunity to work a name, and the next thing you know, they think they're you know gods. They're the next best thing to sliced bread. Or they want to go out there and they want to call the shots, and they'll say, oh well, I want to do this, and oh, I don't want to do that, and I want to put this guy over. That's it's gotten so bad. And that's, I want to say 50-50. Half the wrestlers fault and half the promoters fault. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to say about 30% promoter, 35% wrestler, and the other 35% is the fans, because they feed this guy stuff based on one moment, and they just think they're good. They don't have to, I shake everybody's hand. I say hello to everybody. If you're a veteran, you call the shots in the ring. I follow your lead. Some of these guys don't want to do that. They don't want to do that, or they don't understand how to tell a story. They want to open up a match with a hurricane nowhere. I have one guy in Puerto Rico. The promoter brought me in. He goes, Frankie, you're going to work my son. I was like, sure, no problem. He goes, Frankie, can you teach my boy how with some respect? And I go, what do you mean? And he tells me, he goes, just go talk to him, and you'll see what I'm saying. I went up to the guy. The kid weighs about 156 pounds. I'm walking in about 235. And he told me, Frankie, I have an idea. I go, what? I figured I was going to body slam you, come off the top with an elbow.
Okay.
I'm like, you're going to pick me up? And he goes, yeah. And I go, no, that's not going to work. He goes, yeah, I have to. You got to make it work because my father's a promoter. And I was like, oh, okay. So then, I changed the one thing. I said, well, instead of you body slamming, why don't you just, give me a kick to the gut and then climb up to the top, and when you come off, just catch me. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That's even better. Well, Sean, when he came off the top, I jumped up and clotheslined him so hard. And he folded like an accordion.
Nice.
And, and from that moment on, I just commenced to kind of really put him in his place.
Yeah.
And, and I put the kid over. I did my job, and he got a hell of a response from the crowd. I mean, he went for one spot, and I called it. I said, look, duck this and do this. And when he did it, the crowd went nuts. Mm-hmm. Biggest pop of the night. And he froze. He was like, wow. And I was like, dude, just keep going. How are you fucking doing? And, he kept on, went to the back with his nose bleeding and his back all scratched up and his gear kind of ripped up. And he goes, that was the best match of my life. But then he went to his father and goes, Dad, I know what you mean, and I'm sorry. And ever since then, the kid's been right,
Nice.
The kid's been right. About 5 years ago.
Yeah, so, like, humbling experience.
Yeah, it was humbling. You got a 19-inch arm cracking you across the bridge of your nose.
Definitely. Kind of turns around pretty quick for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to mention a mutual friend of ours, Sean Patrick Mullen.
Yep.
How long you been, or what's the relationship with you guys?
Sean is my agent. Mm-hmm. Sean is my booking agent, and he's doing a hell of a job. He was able to hook me up with you. He also got me booked in the show in October. He's a real constant a person to detail. Every little thing he sees, he'll question, Frankie, are you retiring? You can't do this to me. Not now, so he's a good guy. He's a very, very kind person. I can see he's very into his wrestlers. I mean, if anybody's out there looking for a booking agent, you definitely want to reach out to Sean. And he doesn't get you booking like in a heartbeat, but he's getting you the right stuff. Mm-hmm. He's getting the money you're asking for. He's putting you in the positions you're asking for. And he takes care of you. So Sean's a good guy. He's a good guy. I'm actually gonna talk to Steve about having Sean be his booking agent.
Yeah.
But Sean's unfortunately he is in Florida, so I can't see him all the time. But I believe he'll be traveling down to October. you know, to the show he got me working on. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Good guy. I really like him.
Cool. Okay. And last thing I have here, you do a lot of the Facebook Live videos, and you're always in the car when you do them. I have to ask, where are these drives happening, and like where are you going like to and from?
Well, I do have a shoot job in the day. Vice President of Operations for Cosmopolitan. I run. We got 12. We're a staffing agency. We have 12 locations throughout New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. I have about 2,000 field employees that work under me, and about 25 to 30 office personnel that works under me. So I do sales. I do operations. So I'm always traveling. I'm always driving. Now you add into the wrestling career of mine, which I'm always driving. I'm always in my car. I'm always in my car. And sometimes it gets boring. You're sitting there driving for hours. So thank God that Facebook created this live thing, so I get to talk to people. I get to for them, even though I'm taking a chance because I don't know if you saw today. I went live today.
Ran the red light.
Yeah, the one where I ran the red light. Yeah, some crazy person put a really fucked up comment on there. I was like, okay, I deleted that.
Yeah. So, you didn't say what it was, but yeah, I got the hint.
Yeah, and then you got a couple of people that wants to use that as a moment for them to put themselves over. But I usually get about 90, anywhere from 80 to 300 views. They kind of like listening to what I got to say.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I enjoyed it because you kept mentioning me, my podcast earlier today, so I appreciated that.
I got to, man. That's the only way these people can, how business is gonna grow is people gotta help each other out.
Right.
I did a couple of podcasts this week, and
yeah, I know you've been busy.
I've been trying to push the June 25th event in Brooklyn. It's a big event for me, at least. I'm getting great response. I mean, Jim Ross talked about it. Steve Lombardi's, he's called me 3 times and I've been with you on the phone, so I have to call him back soon.
Oh, you should have answered it. I could have had him on. That'd been great.
No, I can't. He's on a contract. He promised me that any podcast will allow me to push his event, and if he sees who's pushing it. After he does the Chris Jericho podcast, he's gonna go on the podcast I tell him to. So you're in there. I definitely gonna get you an interview with him.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to pick anybody, alive or dead, for a dream opponent, who would it be?
Sting.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And we'll get out of here on. You want to shout out your social media stuff and mention the event one more time?
Yeah, so Legendary Action Wrestling, we have a YouTube channel. Just look for Legendary Action Wrestling. Check out all our past events, our commercials, upcoming promos. Our website is www.nycaction.org. www.nycaction.org. We got a fan page, obviously, on Facebook, Legendary Action Wrestling. You can look me up. It's Frankie Flo, the Puerto Rican Beast, on Facebook, Twitter, at LEW Wrestling 1, I believe it is. Then Instagram, same thing, Law Pro Wrestling 1. That's pretty much it. Anybody who's interested in ever getting booked, you can always hit me up on one of those Facebook or Twitter. Send your information there. I'm not going to tell you what to send. You should know what to send by now, but resume, a couple of matches. Our next mega event right now is June 25th, Saturday, bell time at 7 p.m., featuring the Mr. USA Tony Atlas, featuring the Brooklyn Brawler, who's actually making his return to his hometown. We've got a young man who's really an inspiration. He creates candles on his own, and beautiful little canvas down there called Things by Eli. All the proceeds go to St. Jude's Hospital. He does it for a good cause. This young man's only 9 years old, and his mind is in the perfect spot. I gotta give big ups to his parents for doing such a great job with him. His father is actually one of the lead singers for TKA. Anybody who's into freestyle knows exactly who he is. June 25th, Brooklyn, New York, 6120 Bay Parkway, St. Pat's Church. Brooklyn Baller, Tony Alice, Frankie Flo, Junior Flo, the Plantain Players, and also that day he's going to be holding a seminar at 4:30. Anybody who's interested in really learning what to do in this business, getting this from a 32-year veteran who's been through everything the WWE's been through, it's priceless. Mm-hmm. So he's going to teach you guys a lot of things, what to do, how to get noticed, work-wise, and how to cut promos. And, this man's been around forever. He's been in the ring with the best. In the area of Brooklyn, just you head down to St. Ath Church, 6120 Bay Parkway, 4:30 p.m. It's going to cost $50. Bring paper, pen, and some loose clothing.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, Sean, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I hope you're doing great with your past events on your podcast. I can see you really going fast and up. Anything we can do at Legendary Action Wrestling, just got to do is ask. You got my number.
Yeah.
Do what you're doing. You're doing a great job. You're doing a really good job. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying those kind words, and thank you for being on. I really appreciate it, and I enjoyed this.
Great. It's been fun. So I'm going to jump off now because I got to call Steve Lombardi because if he calls me one more time, I'm going to shoot him.
All right. That was my conversation with Frankie Flo. Like you said, make sure you guys check out the event on June 25th in Brooklyn. You're going to have the Brooklyn Brawler, Tony Atlas, Frankie Flo, Junior Flo. It's going to be stacked. It's going to be packed. You guys really, really should check that out. And make sure you hit him up on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And if you want to get trained right, he's the guy to go to. And I want to thank him once again for being on. And I hope to talk to him in the future. And after the event, and possibly, fingers crossed, to get the Brooklyn Brawler on. Of course, after Chris Jericho's podcast, which is understandable. But I'll get out of here on my plugs. Facebook group page, Electric City Wrestling Fans. Please join and add as many people as you possibly can to it. And most importantly, as always, iTunes. Please, please, please. Electric City Wrestling Fans. Like, rate, review, and subscribe and tell all your friends about it, because this thing is really, really starting to take off, and I do it as much as I possibly can. I get great guests. I have ROH people. I have Lucha Underground people. I have top independent people. I'm truly, truly blessed with how good this is going, and I want to keep it going, and the only way I can do that is by you guys supporting this podcast. So the best way you can do that is by spreading the word and telling your friends, telling everybody, your coworkers, and have them subscribe, and just keep passing the word along. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Peaces.